She also holds a professional certification in digital marketing and communication from Mudra Institute of Communication, Ahmedabad, showcasing her commitment to staying current in rapidly evolving world. She is a trained soft skills and communication trainer with a strong foundation in business communication, managerial communication, and professional ethics, courses she actively engages with. Her passion lies in guiding students and professionals to communicate with clarity, purpose, and empathy. Her academic interests are both rich and forward-thinking. She works in areas like ecofeminism, translation studies, equity, and inclusion, computational linguistics, and attention computing. Her research is deeply rooted in postcolonial and deconstructive frameworks, which she uses as tools to examine complex texts, societies, and systems. With this diverse and interdisciplinary background, Dr. Pallavi brings a holistic perspective to education, careers, and the evolving skill sets required in today's world. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Pallavi Nimbalwar to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am clearly audible to you all. Am I? Yes? No? Yeah. So good afternoon, students, and good afternoon, parents as well. Parents there? All right. Thank you so much. So we've just, before starting with this session, we've had a session with the class 9 students as well, okay? But what I see over here, being a class 10 students, both the parent group and the student group, looks like they are more invested in the session. Are you? Is there a higher investment in this session for this 10th class group than a 9th class stakeholder group? Parents, yes. Higher investment or lower? Yes, so, parents are already claiming that they're highly invested. What are we invested in though? Okay, what are the questions that you are, grappling with or dealing with as you are navigating your 10th class journey? Why are you looking so invested? Okay, so can I ask you this question, as the parents are claiming that they are also highly invested? Any reasons for the parents to be this invested and your presence on a weekend over here for a career counseling session? Yes, parents, can I have some interaction from the parent group first? And I assure you I'm going to involve your wards. Okay, so that is why I'm here. But then the parents first. Yes? Any particular reason for yes?
Actually, nowadays there are many streams other than engineering and doctor, the way we have grown up. But we want to know what are the other things that kids can take it up, and they will get I'm sure they will get a good information from you people, and we will know what we have to guide them.
All right.
Thank you.
So this works for me, because as I understand it, the reason for investment is that I want a future for my ward, okay, which is a stable future, which makes them financially independent, okay, and where, there should be a point where my worry as a parent ends, right? Am I right in saying that, I want some rest as a parent after a while? Are you resting now? Parents? Are you resting now, or are you equally anxious as your kids are? Yes or no? All right. Okay, so let us try and make it a little less anxious for you. And of course, like I'm asking about your investment, my investment here lies with this particular group. This is the group who I am more invested in rather than the parent group. Okay. Why I am, making this statement? Because I want to run a disclaimer. What is disclaimer that I want to run? I am on their side, not yours, which means the kind of answers that are going to come from me are coming from, I'm going to tell your kid to be their authentic selves and forget about the future that they are going to make for themselves, because trust me, the world is opening up to so many new opportunities that there's no need to worry. Okay? Yes, there are certain concerns, like the scenario or the world over, how it is changing, how fast-paced it has become, okay? But are we training our students or this particular group to be able to navigate through the changing world? My answer is a very big yes. Okay, so let us start on that point. Coming to my stakeholder group now, okay, I'm going to start with, I'm a communication person, okay. Talking about communication skills, when I train my students for communication skills, I always talk about 3 Ps, okay. And in the context of communication, those 3 Ps are, okay, prepare, 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 okay. Prepare before you present, prepare before you talk, prepare before you are, going to, interface, have an interface with a new forum, prepare, okay? Here in this context, what I am going to talk about is, again, 3 Ps, okay? One of which is going to be prepare, okay? Second P is be persistent, right? Okay? So preparation, persistence, and purpose are the 3 Ps with which I'm going to start. Make sense? Student group, make some noise. Yes? The 3 Ps, your work. Can't you speak? I've been told that, our students are actually very courageous, very authentic, asking the right questions. Are you? Yes, no? Girls, make some noise. Yes, no? I'm not going to move forward unless I hear it from you. Yes or no? Yes, wonderful. Okay, boys, yes or no? You can also say no, I don't mind. Okay? Okay, but one thing is for sure, all of us are here because, you guys are getting ready for the adult world. Adulting already, yes? At least say yes to this, hai? Also, of course, you are, far more serious about what to do, far more anxious. I also know for sure that you are also trapped between, okay, your own passion, your parents' expectations, some amount of peer pressure also you are grappling with. Why? See, rather than peer pressure, the conversations around you, what your friends are saying is influencing you more than exerting pressure. So if one of your friends want to go for a certain stream, sometimes we believe that, I would also, that is also there for me. That becomes my passion. So those kind of things are also there. But then irrespective of everything, of course, all of you want to land up in a yes, no? No? So, unless you say yes, I'm going to take it for a no. Yes or no? Yes, wonderful. All right, so, what I'm trying to say is maybe this chaos is good. Right now, the kind of confusion all of you are facing is good because out of chaos comes something, it is actually the foundation of something beautiful. And right now you hold an entire new world, a bright new future in your hands. How so? Okay. Okay. Coming back to the parental expectations now. Okay. They have always existed. Those parental expectations existed when I was your age as well. Okay. So they parental expectations, you call it some amount of pressure, beginning out of their concern, okay? But then this world is also tougher than the one that we all navigated. Our generation, or your parents' generation has navigated. How's it tough? It is tougher because the new world that, there's a new terminology that we have all started to use, VUCA world. Anyone out of the group who knows what is a VUCA world? Ever heard about VUCA world? Yes, no, again? Make a guess. It's all there on the slide. Okay? It's a world which is volatile. It is a world which is uncertain. It is a world which is far more complex than the world that we are accustomed to navigating, our generation. Okay? As well as a lot of ambiguity is also there. How to navigate the VUCA world then? Okay? So when I say volatile, can anyone from the crowd cite an example that this is really a volatile world? What is happening around you? Any example? Yes? Come on, yes. कुछ भी बोलो चलेगा. Okay, how do you look at the world? So when I say volatile or say complex or say uncertain, Do you relate that, there's a lot of uncertainty?
I think the ability to survive the peer pressure.
Survive?
The peer pressure.
Could you please come up again?
I think the volatiles means the ability to survive the peer pressure.
Okay, so what you are saying is, for me, uncertainty might be peer pressure is also so enormous that it gives rise to uncertainty for me. What I would rather say is, so when I say volatile world, volatile because पूरी geopolitical situation अगर आप देखते हो तो एकदम fast pace change हो रहा है. क्या क्या changes हो रहे हैं? Any of you know about the Trump's tariffs? ये this last week's news है ना? Trump tariff. कितना tariff है इंडिया के ऊपर? Anyone is aware? 26%. China started with 100% and went up to 114%. Any of you have a clue on this? कुछ idea है? सुना तो होगा ना? है ना? तो ये क्या है? जियोपॉलिटिकल सिचुएशंस वर्ल्ड ओवर ऐसे हो रहे हैं कि बहुत वॉलेटाइल हो रहा है. वॉलेटाइलिटी क्यों? देखो, इकोनॉमिक्स या इकोनॉमी हमेशा पूरी दुनिया को रन करती है. द मोमेंट यू आर गोइंग वेंचरिंग इनटू दैट एरिया विच इज गोइंग टू टच द इकोनॉमी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ओवर, स्पेशली if you're talking about the Asian region, the entire BRICS nation are going to be affected. Smaller countries are also affected just because of the tariff rates. The entire software industry, they are saying, would be affected. Is it really going to change the world and the job scenario in India? Let us make it specific to India. Yes, there is a possibility, but how is it going to impact us as an economy, and how is it going to impact the job situation? That is something that we are, that cannot be yet predicted. So we are still hoping for a good future, but then no denying that it is volatile, right? Uncertain because nahi malum hai with the AI advent and the kind of research that is happening in that area, what kind of new changes are going to come, okay? Complex because, every other day something new is coming, and it is simply becoming impossible for us to keep a track. So some amount of complexity and ambiguity is also part of the entire picture, okay? But this only gives me one message. And what is the core message that I derive from the VUCA world? Another example of very far simpler, more relatable example of the VUCA world is COVID, okay? COVID is something that started this terminology, VUCA, okay? So we know that when something bad happens, yes, there are implications, okay? There are, disasters that we may come to see, but then also a positive message that eventually humanity copes. And it copes when? It copes when it is ready. When it is willing to update itself with newer skills and willing to open out its mind for information that is relevant. And that is the only solution to the VUCA world that we are talking. I'm very quickly going to navigate into the career options, okay? So, my next few slides are going to be, again, those 3 streams and what are the career options that are going to open out, okay? But please understand the foundation first. It's not a world that your previous generation has been accustomed to, but it is also a world, even if it is demanding, it is an enriching world because it is asking you to open out yourself and be always agile and be always ready. So that's wonderful news because this also gives me a message that, we are going to see a better world than what we framed as a generation, all right? Okay. Why should you listen to me when I'm saying that some good news is on the way? Okay? And when I say good news is on the way, when your parents, your teachers, and all of you are also worried about, how's going to be how's it going to be job-wise, okay, in the coming world, okay? Would there still be those traditional jobs as I am accustomed to those jobs? Would they still be available, okay? So don't trust me when I say that, but trust what I am, bringing, the place where I'm bringing this data from. This data is from year 2025 World Economic Forum report, okay? And what does it say? It covers the next 5 years, 2025 to 2030, okay? And what does it say, okay? The top 10 fastest growing jobs, if what it lists as is big data specialist, then fintech engineers, AI and machine learning specialists, software and application developers, UI, UX developers, okay? Then Internet of Things specialists, information security analyst, DevOps engineer. But आप लोग बोलोगे कि अभी तो, I just spoke about the VUCA world and I'm saying that, Trump tariffs are going to change everything. Software engineering, is it going to stay in place? Okay? And this is where, अभी 2025 में publish हुआ है, 1-1.5 साल से we are seeing the AI influx or the changes that are happening because of artificial intelligence. Still, the statistics say something different. Okay? The nature of jobs might be changing, but then the underlying expertise is still going to stay relevant. Do you realize what I am saying? The kind of jobs that are predicted on the report, it is still saying that your degree in software engineering, your degree in data analysis, it could be a BSc degree, it could be a BTech degree as well. Your degree, if you decide to pursue of economics degree and then afterwards you decide that I am going to train as a financial expert. But along with that, let me also explore a few areas like Coursera platforms or the MOOC platforms, and let me just go through, some language learning. So maybe I learn Pascal on the way. Okay, C++ on the way. So some programming language. I have my core expertise or the major lies in economics, okay? And I keep myself updated. So I become eligible for something called fintech, okay? Or else my expertise lies only in the financial area, but these are the core technical areas which I have explored and I know something about it. And then let there be an engineer who comes and both of us work together and fit in the fintech industry. So do you realize what I'm trying to say? You can work in humanities. You could be, you could train as a major in commerce, you could train as a major in any technical area or a STEM-based area. It is going to integrate well and the jobs are going to open up across industries the moment you decide that I am going to prepare and upskill myself and I am going to explore new avenues. All right? Okay. Another industry that is opening up is transport and supply chain industry, although a lot of supply chain jobs are going to be automated. Okay. But then other, transport related options. So if you are, planning to be an entrepreneur, you can also plan to check out or, just figure out what I can do as a part of supply chain mechanism or how I can fit into the transport industry. It's another very big, job area that is going to open up. Okay. Some of the, let me just give you the flip side also. Some of the jobs that are on the decline for the next 5 years or say decade. The good news is that all of them are, I'm going to read it out for you because I can see that it's not visible. Okay? So all of them are very base. Clerical level jobs. So let me read out. Design and investigation graphic designers, claim adjusters, legal secretaries, legal officials, administrative assistants, executive secretaries, printing trade workers, very baseline job, right? And small jobs, clerical, postal service clerks, bank tellers, bank clerks, okay? So, the previous session, some of the students were interested in, and they asked, banking sector, is it going to be on the decline? A big no, okay? Only jobs across sectors that are going to be impacted are very low level, clerical level jobs so far, okay? Another example that, so graphic designing used to be a big thing 5 years ago. It's not such a big thing because we are all reaping the benefits. How many of you are using templates from Canva? Raise your hands. Many of you are. Has it made your task easier and your presentations better? Yes, okay, and people are going about making newsletter publications on ready-to-use templates, and the result is going to be far better than what we used to do using Photoshop. Okay, so we used to design our newsletters, using Photoshop, and it used to involve a lot of hard work. Now with Canva, it's a blessing. Okay, so what is happening over here is, what I'm doing is I'm saving time. The expertise, the logic is still mine. Right, so I am giving, and then if I want to write the content for my newsletter, I am seeking assistance from AI, but I am not giving it the complete rule. Okay, so what I am saying is I am telling it, I want an article about, this is how it should go. So my critical thinking abilities is even in higher application, but it is saving me some amount of time, and I am just doing the revisions and checking whether it has gone the way I have conceptualized it to be, right? Yes, no? Okay, so another thing. just taking a deviation because I'm from communication. The moment, I said this, yes or no? Okay, this is a simple trick in communication. Whenever we are doing this, okay, repeatedly, people automatically start nodding. So a lot of these tricks, whenever we conduct communication sessions, we do teach these simple tricks. So some deviation to break the monotony coming back. Okay. So only baseline jobs are going to be affected. So that is another good news for me. Let us talk about, now I am coming to the heart of the presentation or the session. Now, this is what you guys want to listen to. Taking a small pause, opening the podium for questions. Okay, so just because, I asked you a question that this group's, this particular session is full of more invested people. Okay, and the previous session, I was also talking to Subodh sir, and I said the questions about which entrance examination should be taken for which stream never surfaced in the previous session because it was a little bit smaller, less invested crowd. Okay, so I'm just taking a pause, and I'm very sure all of you are already engaged in certain research about, this is what this particular exam and that particular coaching. So people are going about that. So let us start with some questions before I move forward. Okay, 5 minutes pause for the first round of questions. Works? Yes, no? Or should I move on? All right, so I'm waiting for the questions to arrive.
Namaste, ma'am. I just want to ask if the new education...
Your name, please. Namaste.
My name is Swarda from 10th C.
Swarna.
Swarada.
Swarga.
Swarada from
Swarada.
10th C. I just want to ask if the new education policy is going to apply to us all, and that there's a mentioning that all three, like science, commerce and arts, these sections are going to dissolve and there are only being subjects for us. Is it going to apply us, and for it, how should we think of our future in that point of view?
So a very good question. First of all, let me answer this question for you. Okay. 2 questions to apply to you all, your batches. After 10th, yes. A big yes. How it is going to apply, I am going to answer after I have answered the second question. Okay? You are saying that humanities, arts and commerce are going to be dissolved, right? Okay? So I am going to see with NEP 2020, the idea is of course interdisciplinarity. So not making final choices till you have made one final choice, which should be at the postgraduate level. That is the core concept. How much time it is going to take for NEP to be fully implemented? Okay, so the predictions are from 10 years onwards, we can start claiming that it is at least implemented by 80%. But have universities and schools, have they started implementing NEP 2020? Yes. In higher education, big time. For example, if you are talking about an undergrad level course, okay, there are multiple exit options which are in place across universities. I would claim that across India, almost 80% of the higher education institutes are implementing this. For if you want to take an exit after the first year, okay, so you just you can take an exit with a certificate, graduation certificate. Second year exit, diploma. Third, so a science or a STEM or a technical student is also offered things like theater, fine arts, visual design. You take up any course, even if it is a plain BSc degree or a BCom degree, all higher education institutes are offering at a mandatory level all these interdisciplinary programs that is making you ready for the coming world. So yes, it is very much there. How you choose to look at it is a different question. There with us, they say, is less than 6 years, 5 years, and a few months left, which means, it is becoming a need. Okay. Another area which is becoming a need is law. Most corporates are choosing to have an in-house lawyer. So what I'm talking about is simply translated in terms of an undergrad degree. If you're going for, and again, you have fabulous institutes like Nalsar. Okay. Let us talk about commerce. But before that, again, I am taking a pause and I am just inviting questions if there are any. Okay, so just also introducing a small concept. How many of you are interested in design courses? Architecture? None? Parents? Or you want to know about those? Because design courses has nothing to do with the university that I am coming from, and this is genuinely a career-led question. Just a disclaimer. Yes. Yes. Office, or it can be my home. Even if it is small, it should be a good homogeneous living space. Okay, so that is again a very interesting career choice. Architecture का भी अपना एग्जाम होता है नाटा. Okay, सेट से लेके सारे इंस्टीट्यूट just explore. The only thing that you as a parent or you as a student can do is find out in right time when the forms are getting open. Okay, and fill out those forms. Find out what the content is, what kind of areas, what kind of questions. If you want the right guidance, find out where is the coaching academy, what kind of material should I be accessing, and start preparing. Okay, all you can do, the worst that is going to happen is you're not going to get admission there, but then you will get it somewhere with some place, and all fields are good enough. That preparation is extremely important. Making the right choices and filling out the forms at the right time is also extremely important. Okay. Talking about commerce, all the traditional jobs are still available. Available in terms of chartered accountancy, रहने वाला है अगले 5 साल 10 साल, हाँ. Company secretary jobs रहने वाले हैं, हाँ. Although they are very highly demanding job, आपको बहुत सारे, you have to dedicate many years with full focus to become a CA. But then it can also be done along with a good undergrad economics or commerce degree, right? Okay. Cost management accounting, banking, finance sector is going to open up like anything. Okay, law, especially corporate law, business law. Then MBA in finance, marketing, HR, across streams. I also spoke about hospital management as an up and coming. We at Nimbalwar actually run postgraduate level courses in construction management, in project management. Okay? So those are also MBA related fields. Then stockbroking, investment banking, tax consultancy, having an economics degree and integrating it with fintech related job, banking industry, again a big thing. So what I'm trying to say again is for commerce students also, n number of options are available. You just need to research and do the right thing at the right time. Alright? In new age, financial analyst, data analytics, business intelligence, e-commerce manager, digital marketing, digital content creator, supply chain analyst, behavioral economist. Behavioral economist incidentally क्या करते हैं? All the advertising that you have been exposed to. There is a whole lot of consumer psychology that goes into making those ads work. Okay? So psychology for humanities students, especially behavioral psychology, and you'll find you just explore. Google website explore करो, internships उस पे explore करो, you explore Microsoft website. All of them have a place, especially Google, YouTube have a space and a vacancy. There are dedicated behavioral psychologists because psychology में statistics भी है ना? Behavioral psychologists who are analyzing consumer psychology and selling products based on that. So apart from counseling or those counseling related jobs, psychology has a demand in the hardcore industry as well, especially sales and marketing. And then anything that is related to managing wealth and finances. This is for commerce. Okay. About humanities, the choices that are available to you is English literature, geography, history, political science, humanities, psychology and economics. I have already spoken about much. Talking about languages. Okay. Do languages, right now languages have a lot of scope, okay, including our own Indian languages, regional languages. Okay. Why regional languages are playing the center stage? Two reasons. NEP 2020 is one of the reasons. Okay. A lot of translation work, especially even for higher education, is going on. And we as educationists, higher education people know because we are routinely approached by AICT also for aiding that translation work. So there are a lot of researches going on whether we'll be able to translate especially the STEM related information in the textbooks in regional languages. So a lot of such work is going on undertaken by the AICT and the centralized bodies themselves. Apart from that, natural language processing or NLP is the core area behind AI training also. So these AI models are being trained. अगर आप अभी Google the front page of Google आप open करते हो तो आपको कुछ 7-8 languages ही दिखती है जिसमें Google आपको deliver कर रहा है. मराठी है, बांग्ला है, तमिल, तेलुगु है, Hindi है, English है. These are the languages that I remember, but there are only 7-8 languages Google is able to. But then India is such a huge market. So what everyone, all the stakeholders, the industry is trying to do is, especially with the AI integration, they're trying to train the language models, these AI models into translating and into ideating all the regional languages across world, but especially countries like India, जहाँ बहुत सारी language है. So language में भी बहुत scope है, especially in regional languages. If you end up choosing literature, even Hindi literature major and a regional language, that is also a very good area because again you land up in an industry where you have to feed the large language models for the translation purposes and AI training purposes. So trust me, these new jobs are opening up. Okay, you can consider them as choices. Apart from that, fine and performing arts, talking about certain big names, Ashoka University, a good name. Another one is play when we are talking about liberal arts. Okay, so I have nothing to do with these brands. I am not representing these brands, but what I am trying to say is, right now is the time for you to start exploring. These are the options. What are the placement options they are offering after I, pass out with a degree or say a postgraduate level degree? How are they going to place me? Because trust me, these institutes or most higher education institutes nowadays are also, taking the accountability for placing students. So that is again very heartening. It didn't used to be the same scenario when we passed out. We were on our own. But then right now, this accountability is also taken by the institutes. Alright? So this is the end of my presentation, but I am sure
that you should be asking me before I go on to end the presentation with the introduction of the place where I belong to, like Mario University. Okay? So I'm also again taking a pause for the questions, and then I'm going to invite you to know my home, like Mario University, and also going to invite you to have a walkover with your child, with your parents, and see for yourself what it is. So yes. Yes. For MBA? Alright. You know why for an MBA, the best answer would be you go and visit any MBA college website and go through the curriculum. Okay. Why this statement is made? Because most MBA curriculum have two subjects, basic mathematics and statistics. These are the only two subjects which are integrated with your math related area. Okay. Now coming to the otherwise, no difficulty is there. Okay. Now the MBA curriculum is also realizing certain problems. For example, statistics is going to be there even if you are going for HR.
But an HR professional doesn't need to be so well versed with mathematics, they're never going to apply. So the curriculum integration also for certain institutes is happening in a way where they are eliminating the mathematical part altogether, retaining only the behavioral psychology as well as the statistics part, which is integral even to a HR specialization. Okay, so no, even a humanities students, if you know the basic 10th level science, some accountancy for which you are going to be trained within that coursework itself, okay, you will be able to manage well even if you are a humanities students. The wonderful part is we never use our learning ability, which means that even if I have gone for a humanities till my 12th or say my graduation, it will take me only couple of months to train to 12th level basic mathematics, even if it is there. If I am getting admission in a very good institute like Xavier's, for an MBA, I would rather cope with the mathematics and accountancy and score, say, a D in those two subjects, but target all other subjects for a straight A, right? So that is also possible, and it is humanly possible as well, okay? So don't worry about it. Yes. No further questions? Yes.
So if I had a change of mind from engineering to something else, are there any subjects which I can change from for example, I'm taking PCM and there's something like business management, or I have just changed my mind, I'm not doing engineering but a business management course. So what are the subjects I can take in...
Okay. So, suppose you're talking about a business management course. The only subject from your PCM that you are going to utilize in a business management course is basic mathematics. And that mathematics is very basic SSC level mathematics from which you start. Okay? So, some amount of mathematical application is going to be there, and that too is there only with say 50 to 60% institutes. Okay? So what you are essentially asking is, if I go for a PCM or a PCB choice, does other stream become restricted to me? No, because there is no correlation. It still stays open to you.
Is degree really necessary? Ma'am, because there are some courses which are allowing us, the core of, there are some courses which are allowing me to study more in data scientist, to become a data scientist, but the degree, there are other subjects too. But if I'm doing only the data scientist and I have fixed my mind in it, is that degree really necessary to pursue job in it?
All right. So, you have to approach this question from two perspectives. One is the culture and the ethos of the job market. Let us look at it in a very Indian way, with a very Indian mindset. Okay, people who are going to hire me eventually, are they going to hire someone with a degree, or are they open to having someone who has the right skill set and expertise, maybe more talented, because you have trained yourself in that niche itself. If they are open, how much of that percentage of employers do we have right now? We don't have, है ना? That is why, talking about India again, whenever any kind of disruption has happened world over, that disruption has not actually ended up disrupting India in terms of economy as well as the job market also. Because somewhere down the line, India is very uncertainty avoidant culture. We don't want any kind of uncertainty, which means if a particular degree or an investment of some amount of my time, say 4 hours per day for only 7 months per year, is going to give me something that I can safely hold in my hand, and I've worked towards it also. Okay, so I would rather have it than not have it. Okay, if your inclination is towards becoming an entrepreneur, okay, and really being invested into a particular area, then go for it. But then if you're taking that risk, you should own the risk, so it is your own accountability when you are making that choice. Okay, people are known to have made that choice with NEP, the kind of exit options that we are giving. So the idea is certainly that even with 1 year of your undergrad and you have a certificate, people are going to take an exit. So trust me, that is also going to happen eventually. Okay, skill-based certification and being job ready.
And ma'am, one more question is like abroad studies, for going abroad for studies, is it really that necessary for like 1 crore packages and everything that everything are saying in IITs and everything? Is it do we have to go to abroad for it to get those types of job
the question
in India?
is it also applies to your IIT choices, है ना? या फिर आप IIMs की अगर बात करते हैं for a degree like MBA, okay? Does an IIM degree give me a boost or a Harvard degree gives me a boost just because of the brand name and the acceptance and the way the candidates are trained or the graduates are trained over there, okay? And the kind of placements and the credibility over the years they have made for themselves. It is going to stay for a while. So if you're talking about higher average salary packages, they are always going to have an edge, okay? Coming to going abroad, if you're going abroad just for the sake of having a degree and going abroad, okay, with any institute, any college, no, doesn't work. What you should be opting for, the idea is to earn a postgraduate level degree from a credible university, whether within India or abroad. So if you're choosing to go abroad, go with a university which has enough credibility. Yes, their courses are also, what we are trying to do with NEP 2020, the interdisciplinary, vision that we are having, those institutes abroad already have set up, and it's been decades and more than 2 decades that they've been running like that. They have been operating like that, okay? So yes, good names are credible. Not known names, no need to go there. All our software professionals are also, right now they are complaining that, going for an average institute abroad is not giving us any good package or any good, not even jobs there, okay? So no.
As you said just now that the universities abroad have already implemented those things. So, and the general perspective is that Europe and that America is 5 to 10 years ahead of us. So, by our career perspective, do we have to think like the jobs which are going on in Europe right now, or there are other perspectives we can choose our career from?
See, isn't it industry specific? If you want to go for example, of genetic engineering based research, India might not be having the right kind of the infrastructure to boost that kind of a research. So if you want to go into that particular industry, of course you would want to go to Europe, or say even Russia is very good research ecosystem, Germany very good research ecosystem. But then you have to be clear about the basics, what I really want to do. If your vision is only to be trained in software, as a software professional and earn there more, that is also okay. But then having that clarity, where am I going to be placed? Okay, is Europe better than India? There are several other questions that are associated. Your quality of life, how you are being treated there. Are you more comfortable being in India with your parents around, or are you okay with leading a life where you are on your own? These are the questions, okay? And those questions can be answered only by you, okay? No one else can answer those questions for you, okay? So it's your choice entirely. Yes.
Would you please explain about the scope of Ayurveda?
Ayurveda.
Yeah.
देखिए, if I'm talking about let us talk about the degree first, है ना? So Ayurveda के लिए आपको जो degree लेनी है, उसमें काफ़ी सारा, see, I am not from that stream and I am not an expert. मैं आपको broadly बता सकती हूँ. जो course work है, for example, subjects like human anatomy, it's very much a part of homeopathic undergraduate course and Ayurveda undergraduate course, है ना? Ayurveda क्या है? Ayurveda is, as we know it, a way of living. So those philosophy integration is also going to be a part of the curriculum, okay? So beyond that, I do not know. But what I know is, like several other careers, the question that she asked that, if I am going to, train for just, एक particular area पकड़ लिया, programming language में train कर लिया, और मेरा career बन सकता है क्या? तो ये self initiative है. Sometimes when we make those decisions and take these calls, because what I am passionate about is medical, healing, okay, then any stream is good stream. And these fields are also opening up. You look at the entire ecosystem and the narrative that is being created not only by government of India, but at the same time it's all over social media. When it becomes a part of mainstream narrative, of course change is on the cusp, so it is a changing ecosystem and someone has to be a pioneer, okay? So if your child chooses to go for an Ayurveda degree, I'm very sure they are going to take initiative to lead, right? And things, these kind of initiatives have known to have worked for a lot of people, okay? So that, I can only approach this question in this way. I'm not from the field.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, ma'am.
All right, one last question if there is any. Yes, this is the last question.
Ma'am, suppose I am having an engineering course, is there any option or any way that I can also have the psychiatrist course so that I can be a psychologist?
See, देखो major minor का जो combination है, देखो major degree in engineering आप बोल रहे हो, whatever stream you are choosing, है ना? तो एक engineering, psychology या psychological counseling, behavioral psychology, foundation of psychology, ये सब open electives में over the years, consumer psychology, even engineering colleges are bound to offer you these open elective courses, which means you can support, so, over the years for a 4-year engineering course, there are 8 semesters. Out of those 8 semesters, suppose, even for 6 semesters, if you have psychology-based courses, which means that every semester a 2-credit course is going to add up to 12 credits of psychology, which means you become a minor in psychology, okay? After an engineering degree, you can still choose to go for a master's in psychology, say consumer psychology, behavioral psychology, whatever, child counseling, education counseling, if you are really interested in that. Otherwise, you have your BTech degree, right? So that is possible. Yeah. All right then. Okay. You have a question? This one is the last question.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am. Is AI going to take our jobs in future?
Okay, so interestingly, the previous batch also asked the same question, and my answer back then was also that I'm going to stay optimistic. Ask your parents, they are also working, and we don't see anywhere in the near future that AI, very nascent stage still, and can it take over? In the near future, next 2-3 years, I do not see it happening. After 2-3 years, I have no future telling abilities. But then as far as I can see, every time automation has happened, humanity has navigated it really wisely. We have evolved, we have created more uses of human intelligence than any AI can conceptualize. So let us look at AI as a wonderful helper, which can aid us, save our time, and free us for so many other things that we would rather do, right?
That means AI like ChatGPT can do programming, so it can be a threat for
Have you
software
seen,
engineers.
you're talking about programming. What I suggest is you just pick up someone who's really into programming. It could be a friend, it could be your parents' friend also. And, pick up a set of 10 questions and start putting it into ChatGPT, okay? It is really good at base level programming, but the moment you start giving it complex tasks, it starts faltering. Then you tell it that this is wrong. It will immediately apologize. It is doing for content writing also, even information generation also. A simple Google search for right information curation, more broader information curation is still better than what ChatGPT is giving you. Okay? It is only good at one task, writing in an organized manner, not necessarily correctly. Coming back to programming, 2 out of 10. Most of the time, very basic level programming, it is doing correctly. Beyond that, ask your parents and just ask them to talk to the experts in the area. Again, I am no expert in that area, but then they'll tell you the same story. Okay, so baseline programming jobs, of course, like I told you, the only jobs that are going to be impacted are very basic entry-level jobs. Okay, nothing beyond that.
And one more, ma'am. Most of the BTech IITians are unemployed, ma'am. So what
BTech?
IITians are unemployed, ma'am. So what is the...
Unemployed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, last I've heard from was about IIT Mumbai, very good packages,
Yes,
unique offers, okay? So, the kind of narratives that are being created through media, we should act cautious around it, hai na? So, one, if I want to aspire for an IIT degree, what I am looking at is, it's not only the employability, it's not only, what kind of packages I am going to get, okay? I have, in all my years in education, higher education, and I am talking about campuses which were not even offering placement services, okay? I have not seen a graduate. When I say graduate, I mean postgraduate students. Of course, that is where we all want to land up, right? Staying unemployed beyond 6 months. Maybe the kind of degrees I've been working with, but I'm saying beyond 6 months, when they are on their own, when they are with the campus placement agencies, the time is lesser. Okay? You will have something in your hand, so please don't trust the narrative. You should be going to IITs, you should be going to IIMs, if at all you land up there, with only one purpose, with only one reason in mind, that I am to benefit the most from what they have to offer in terms of knowledge and skill set. Nothing beyond that. All right.
Ma'am, what are your thoughts about entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship, okay. Okay. See, dekho, it is certainly the need, keeping in mind, India is not opening out the jobs at the rate which we need them to be opened out. Especially, you talk about the interiors of India, you talk about only, certain economic class which are not able to afford, costly education or say postgraduate level education. So it's a real problem area, and entrepreneurship certainly solves that. Do we have the ecosystem for it? Does everyone have the skill set? Indians are simply not trained, trust me, not trained to, like I've been told in this school, you are, so grassroots level page up, students are being trained to be entrepreneurs. The story might be brighter for yourself, but it is still a challenge. But I would go with it because, challenges, should be taken head on. But then if you're talking about entrepreneurship, should I be making it my sole purpose in life? It's some risk that you should be willing to take. The ecosystem within our country doesn't support. Okay? And app making doesn't fall into the only entrepreneurship category. For me, a pani puri wala, a chai wala might be showing more entrepreneur skills than the one who's actually using technical expertise to create an app and then, just start from there. Okay? So there's more to it. All right, so just starting with a brief introduction of my home, Nimbalwar University. Still not projecting. Okay, thank you. So I am from Nimbalwar University, Pune. Who's NICMAR? NICMAR is National Institute of Construction Management, and we have been in existence since 1983. Only thing is we have translated this vision of construction management into becoming a university 2 years ago. So now we are also running undergrad courses, but then, in a very niche kind of area. So still focused on civil construction management, sustainability, energy. Some of the up and coming areas, especially sustainability, sustainable housing, planning, these are the areas where we operate. So some of the courses or the schools that we run are School of Construction, School of Architecture and Planning. Then we have our own business school. Interestingly, IMBA or Integrated MBA is our undergrad plus postgrad level program that we run at NICMAR Business School. Then we have School of Project Management in Energy and Environment, Real Estate, and School of Engineering. Engineering only related to civil and infrastructure. So these are the undergrad programs. These are the postgrad programs. And this is our contact information. I would repeat, any of you at any point in time want to visit the campus, can contact us and visit the campus. Our admission counseling team is already, they are available within working hours, 5 days a week. Okay. Having said that, of course, this is not the crowd that we normally cater to. It is still some time when you would be planning to visit our campus. It's just because we are here, we are talking about our university as well. Okay. Taking a small pause, and then I have an interesting activity for you. But, I'm also want to introduce Miss Mayuri, who's our admission counselor. So if you have any questions for her, you can ask. I'm just taking a brief pause before we start with an interesting activity.
My name is Mayuri Pathak. I'm the admission counselor working in NICMAR University. You can sit. Okay.
So anyone from the parents group have any questions, you can ask, or else we'll move on with the activity. I suppose they don't have. This is certainly not our crowd. Yeah. All right, so, what I'm going to do is a brief, small quiz we have organized for the previous group as well as for this group. I'm going to ask you a few simple questions, and I expect that, whoever answers first, or at least raise your hand so that there is lesser chaos. I thought that chaos would be good. This is a larger crowd where I would love to, like to have some control. I'm going to point out to the person who's going to answer, who raises the hand first, right? So can we start? Yes? Yes, unless so, you give me a go ahead, I'm not going to start. And this is, we have a few goodie bags for you. So can we? Yes, no? Oh, wonderful. So let's start. So some questions we have already asked. So that is where we are going to start with a few more questions. Okay. So let us start with this question. Which is the first state in India to launch an electric bus service first? First state in India. Come on. Quickly. Who's going to go fast? No answers? Moving on to the next question. Teachers, come on, teachers. You can also have access to the goodie bags. Kerala. All right, so this question is gone. Where's the Statue of Unity located? All right, so white t-shirt, yes. Gujarat, yes, correct. Come on, make it fast. Show some enthusiasm. Are you not happy? Yeah. All right, wonderful. So moving on to the next question. Which statue is located in Brazil and overlooks the city of Rio de Janeiro? Yeah, quickly. Yellow t-shirt. Statue of Unity. Okay. Statue of Unity is what? Abhi previous question was Statue of Unity, yes. Parent group there, yes. Yeah. Option C, can you read it out? Christ the Redeemer, yeah, brilliant, right. Oh, we can also clap for the right answers, come on guys. Opportunity to go through the question. I am also going to read it for you. Which of the following rivers does not flow through or around Pune? Okay, white t-shirt, yes. Second row.
Godavari.
Godavari, right. Pavana, Bhima, Mula Mutha, all are familiar names, right? Next question, come on girls. Narmada river flows through which 3 states? I'm going to read out the options. Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar. All right, back row, white t-shirt with a cap.
Option A.
Right, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat are the 3 states which Narmada flows through. Okay. Which saint has a shrine in Alandi near Pune? Yes, first one to go. And so you are right. No. Come on, make another guess. You're right in getting confused. Yes. Grey t-shirt. Yes, please.
Sant Dhyaneshwar.
Yeah, Sant Dhyaneshwar has the primary shrine. Wonderful. Oh, who's the founder and CEO of Tesla? Okay, blue t-shirt girl. Yes. Elon Musk, right. Wonderful. Which of the following energy sources is considered renewable and non-polluting, commonly used in eco-construction? There are many questions. Yes, the blazer girl, solar energy, wonderful. Nuclear is also energy, but then not used in construction, right? Very nice. What energy sources utilizes heat from beneath the earth's surface to provide heating and electricity? Come on, physics people. Some physics questions, yes?
Geothermal energy.
Who answered that? You answered that, come on, get up. Yes, it is the right answer, geothermal energy. So, physics basics are correct. You can still go for engineering, come on. Which of the following materials is best known for its high tensile strength and often used in construction for
Steel. Steel.
This question has to be rendered void. है ना? कोई आंसर नहीं क्योंकि multiple answers आए तो थोड़ा तो wait करना पड़ेगा ना? Can we move on to steel is the right answer, but who should you want to distribute one gift item? No, let us move on to next question. Trust me, I have enough questions. Okay? So, patience is the key. Speak only when you get the mic. Okay, moving on to next question. Hydrogen fuel cells produce which byproducts when generating electricity? Raise your hands only. No answers, please. Again, I repeat. Okay, black t-shirt.
Option A, carbon.
Yes, carbon dioxide, and water is the right answer.
ध्वनि मेरे को चाहिए प्लीज.
What is the primary physical principle behind the strength of a building's foundation? Yellow t-shirt raised his hand first.
Option C.
Gravitational force and pressure distribution. Again, physics sahi hai. Right. Which physical property is most important when considering thermal insulation in construction? Blue t-shirt. Yes. Thermal conductivity, correct. So one last question is, which principle of physics is essential in designing earthquake resistant buildings?
Third law of motion.
Girl in specs, corner one, yes. Option
B.
equilibrium and balance of forces, right again. Okay, so we have a brilliant crowd. Most questions, people have started answering before the question was fully read. Wonderful. So big clap. Okay, thank you for being an amazing crowd, and special thanks to the parents group for being here. Okay, all the best to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insights. On behalf of RMD International School, I extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. Pallavi Nimbalwar for such an insightful and engaging session. Your thoughts on career directions have truly left an impression on us all. I hope your valuable guidance will help out to the students choose their right future goals. Now, I would like to request our Honorable School Manager, Sri Shubodh Jaju Sir, to felicitate our esteemed guest, Dr. Pallavi Nimbalwar. Please, ma'am. I request sir to felicitate our guest, Miss Mayuri Pathak. Thank you, sir. A heartfelt thank you to our Honorable School Manager, Sri Shubodh Jaju Sir, for taking the time to join us and support today's program. And lastly, a big thank you to all the parents and students for being such an attentive and curious audience. Thank you so much.
Namaste. I hope this session must be useful for you. It was one of the sessions which we are going to conduct throughout the year. One more session will be there in more depth. This is just a warm-up session, I can say, but I believe the session was wonderful. I was watching this online as well. The live link is there. This will be shared to you. You can go through the link again if you want to know or you have missed something. So fine, thank you very much. और अपनी पढ़ाई पे कंसंट्रेट कीजिए। इसके पहले काफ़ी पेरेंट्स और काफ़ी बच्चों ने मुझसे बात की थी, तो जब भी बात करते हैं सब कहते कि कितने ग्रेड्स होने चाहिए, मुझे ये बनना है वो बनना है। तो आई गेस मैडम ने क्लियर किया होगा, ग्रेड्स मैक्सिमम ही चाहिए होते हैं, लेकिन आपको कुछ बनना है तो केवल ग्रेड्स जो है उसके बीच में बाधा नहीं बनते। पर हाँ, एडमिशन्स के लिए या सही जहाँ पर भी आपको जाना है, कॉलेजेस हो, स्ट्रीम्स हो, कॉम्पिटिशन इज़ ऑलवेज देयर। तो कंपटीशन है, यू विल हैव टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट अपॉन योर ग्रेड्स एज वेल एज आपका जो एक नॉलेज है उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने का जो पावर और कॉन्फिडेंस है वो पहले उसमें होना चाहिए। तो पढ़ाई के लिए सबसे पहले कुछ करना होता है तो पढ़ाई का टेंशन बाजू रखना होता है और छोटे छोटे गोल्स बनाकर उसके ऊपर आपको अचीव करना होता है. थैंक यू वेरी मच. विल बी हैविंग सेशन अगेन, career session as well as few interactive sessions also will be having with parents as well. अभी तो हमने बच्चों को बुलाया क्योंकि जगह की कमी थी, फिर भी हमने पेरेंट्स को अकोमोडेट किया है. सो नेक्स्ट सेशन विल बी हैविंग टुगेदर विद द पेरेंट एंड स्टूडेंट्स. थैंक यू.
Yeah, please pay attention. Students, those who have received the prizes, please come forward for group photo. Yeah, one more thing, students, kindly pay attention. Please inform your teacher before leaving.